Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan, and here's the Day Ghost, and welcome to another late Friday night mini-marathon, another blind thing that neither of us have prepared for at all. We kind of just wanted to watch something we haven't seen before and respond to it as we're going and see if it's fun or crazy or good or all of the above. Austin, what are we going to watch this evening?
Legends of Tomorrow, a show I've never seen, so...
Well, that's not entirely true. You've seen one episode.
Oh, yes, true, because we watched, technically it is part of that. Not really, like basically like a mini-series slapped between shows, but...
We did a semi-blind commentary on the Crisis episodes, which you had never seen and I had watched once and reviewed. But tonight we're doing stuff that neither of us have ever looked at. I've not watched Legends actively in years. I think I went back and caught an episode or two back during like season 3 or 4 just to check in with it because I was kind of curious. I watched that, kind of infamous on the channel now, we make fun of this all the time, but I watched that episode where they go back in time to make sure that George Lucas makes Star Wars so that some major scientist becomes a scientist, which just seems completely backwards to me, where I'm like, shouldn't you be making sure that Roddenberry makes Star Trek? Like, isn't that
Nobody
that
knows
show?
who that is, Cap.
Okay, then don't tell that story. Make it like, you know, a major filmmaker that needed to make some movie so that, you know, like one thing leads to another, this person doesn't die, or what have you. But like, you could have told that story, but I just don't know how many people became scientists because of Star Wars. Like, there's a lot of, maybe some people did, but
That guy did, clearly.
yeah, obviously, of course. But I don't know. That just seemed counterintuitive and goofy to me. But anyway, it wasn't great. But we picked some random episodes tonight, not even suggested by anybody that's watched any of this, but just based on premises and episode titles that we thought looked amusing. This is a show that tends to be somewhat episodic, and it shouldn't be too difficult to just jump into an episode. And, of course, you know, like all these shows, there's going to be overarching story stuff, I'm sure, that will go over our heads that we don't know what exactly is going on with. But from people that I've talked to, especially that still really enjoy this show and think I'm nuts for not liking what I've seen of it, it has remained kind of a live-action cartoon, and it's kind of the, you know, like time travel Power Rangers of the Arrowverse. So hopefully it's ridiculous and over the top and fun enough, and we can kind of enjoy it, and it's not bogged down too much by you know, boring TV melodrama and relationship drama and stuff. So we'll see what that's like. But we picked 3 episodes. We put them in the description there. The first one was picked by Austin, somewhat accidentally, apparently, because he sends me a message that we have to watch this one. So I put it on the list, and he was like, I didn't actually mean we had to watch it. I'm like, but that's what you said, and I thought you were making a suggestion, so I put it on there.
Nah, it's just the way I said it. It's like, we gotta do it. Doesn't mean we actually had to.
So I don't know what this is going to be like. I don't tend to go for, you know, political stuff, and what I assume, like a lot of CW stuff, is going to be kind of politically pandery stuff. I guess we'll see. I'm going to try not to harp too much on that, but it does kind of drive me nuts. Hopefully, this is not a horribly fun experience. I will try really hard not to get too bogged down with that. But I don't want to do this. We're going to watch Season 3, Episode 17, which is called Guest Starring John Noble, and it's the episode where the team goes back in time to save Barack Obama, apparently from Gorilla Grodd?
Yeah, because apparently he says he's gonna make America Grodd again.
And, which, I will see the context of it, I guess, but, like, I can't get my mind around that. America was never Grodd in the first place!
No, but Cap, it's like, it's very subtle. It's, you know, a, like, dig on real-world events.
Oh, because it's a GR word?
Yeah.
You gotta do it because Great and Grodd both start with GR? I don't want to do this.
I'm so excited.
But you've already rented the episode because you live in Canada, so you have to pay for more of your TV because it's not on Netflix there, and you weren't able to get Crave for some reason.
Yeah, I spent 15 minutes.
That was the technical difficulty, by the way, was DayGhost trying to figure out a way to watch this because he lives in freaking Canada.
Yeah, I spent 15 minutes trying to buy Crave, and they wouldn't let me.
Rainbow Nightmare says that is so dated now. Trump is so 2020. Yeah, and like these shows were
oh my
not.
God, I know.
These shows were not concerned with being too dated and not being watchable later on. Really disposable entertainment, a lot of this stuff. And especially Legends. You go back and look at a lot of their episode titles, and they tend to be puns of whatever really popular like TV and movies. Or like there's one called This Is Gus or something. Like it's all real timely stuff.
Well, the one episode you sent me was called Romeo v. Juliet, Dawn of Justness, and I literally got diabetes when I read that.
I almost picked that one just on title alone.
That would be the reason to do it.
At that point, we're an absurd DC thing making fun of the ridiculousness of another absurd DC thing, but, like, it's really awkward, right?
No, that's entirely awkward.
Devontae Brown says he could have used a VPN. That's exactly what I said.
Although,
and you could have had a VPN.
I gotta like put it on my TV. Can I get a VPN on my TV?
I don't know. Hey, Austin, is there a way you could adjust your camera just a little bit because your head's kind of popping off the top of the screen?
Yeah, there you go.
You quit messing with me. There you go. That's much better.
There you go.
Okay.
My awesome Pet Cemetery shirt as well.
Ren Davis, are you going to react to that dumb puppet episode? It sucked. I saw that in there and decided to avoid it because...
They did a puppet episode?
Yeah, and I don't...
Why?
Somebody's got to tell me that somebody else did a puppet episode as good as Angel before I'm going to watch that, because it's sort of like the musical thing, where once something is like a... fan favorite, a cult classic thing, every other show has got to try it, and very often it just comes off like, well, we're ripping off this thing, or this is what genre shows do now. So I didn't really want to see that. I saw Flash's musical episode, and that just hurt my feelings. So little effort went into that.
Well, it's probably, it's like the Community puppet episode where they do like an animated episode in season 2 and it's really great, and then they get new showrunners for season 4 and they're like, how do we do the show? I don't know, let's have a puppet episode.
Exactly.
But like, we don't have anything to say with it.
Well, and then that ends up getting into that list of obligatory like episode formulas that everything has to do, where you have to do the time loop episode, and you have to do the amnesia episode, and you have to do the kid that gets born and then grows old and dies within 45 minutes episode. That sounds really specific, but I've seen 5 different shows that have done that episode. And would you believe that Smallville, in its 4th season, did the last 2 things I just mentioned in a row? They did amnesia, and the very next episode is the kid that ages rapidly and dies at the end.
What if they did like a ACW show, hopefully Batwoman, they do an episode where like a character gets amnesia, which turns them into puppets, and that's how they represent that. And then they're slowly aging as they go.
The puppet's rapidly aging?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, we're already like almost 10 minutes in this video and we haven't even started watching anything yet. So let's go ahead and do this, shall we? Once again, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page with us, we have not seen these episodes. We are responding to these as we see them for the first time. Hopefully this is fun. Just like we did last week with 60s Spider-Man, I'm sure this will be in the same league as that. So...
I don't know about that. That's a great show.
Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see some at least really fun stuff here, if not some half decent television. So let's see what happens, and we're gonna watch 3 tonight. We'll take maybe a little break after each of them, I'm thinking. And let's go ahead and just get into it, folks. Here in the States, you can still watch this on Netflix. Other countries, I don't know what the easiest way to get this is. Hopefully you figured that out before we got started. And we'll go ahead and press play when I say now, which I'm just about to do. So make sure to get it timestamp 0 and get ready to press play. Here we go. There's a recap at the beginning of this. We're not going to skip it because we've not watched this, so we might as well see the recap. Hopefully yours has the recap, since you're watching it on iTunes.
It looks like it did when I clicked on it, so...
John Kelling, spoilers, there's time travel.
Oh my god.
It will be kind of weird to see.
Doctor Who.
Let me say this real quick. I imagine there will be some characters here that I'm not familiar with because, and I do like this about this show, they cycle out team members a lot. If you go to Wikipedia, there's like 25 cast members on the side because they're constantly cycling people out. So this, and by the way, originally we were only going to watch some of the most recent episodes, but because I thought Austin was legitimately wanting to watch this one, I decided to skip around a little bit. So we're going to do 1 from 3, and then we're going to go to 5, and then we're going to go to just the last season that is on Netflix. It's already started airing again, season 7, and Constantine's out of it now. That's the only thing I know about what's going on right now. But in season 3, I think Stein is still there, but I'm not sure if Rory is. And I imagine even here there's probably a character or two that I'm not familiar with, so... Okay, everybody ready?
It's gonna be most of the characters for me.
Yeah, because you don't know the show at all.
It's gonna be anybody who showed up in Flash, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I mean that's Firestorm. So I mean you've probably at least seen him in something.
Yeah, and I have admittedly seen the Atom, so
yeah.
I saw the episode where he gets like really embarrassingly beat by Green Arrow, where Green Arrow throws a knife into his leg and then just leaves, even though his sidekick is knocked out on the ground.
Remember when the Atom was just Iron Man, and then Marvel somehow got ahead of the shrinking character, even though they already had that character in their show? And then the very next season, he's shrinking now?
Remember when Felicity wore the Atom suit and flew around?
I forgot about that. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. Here we go. Back in the should-be bankrupt CW.
Oh my god, there's a clone saga.
I read about this. So she is a clone from the future, and a couple seasons from now, she will get engaged to Sarah Lance. And they will become co-captains, apparently.
And there's Hydra Woman. This is just the 90s clone saga from, like, the Spider-Man cartoon 90s. I guess the actual clone saga is also in the 90s.
And so far, it doesn't just look like they're time-traveling to the 90s, but, like, the show was made in the 90s. Okay, so Rory is...
Are we in the show, or are we in the...
I think we are in the show already! Well, that's bizarre. There wasn't even a Legends logo or anything.
No, one of the scenes just kept playing longer. What is happening?
I don't know. I blame you for picking this episode. Even though you didn't mean to pick this episode, apparently.
I hope it just cuts to another clip and it turns out we're still in the recap.
but they're giving us the credits over the recap? I've never seen... Wait, the Darks plural? Could we please, for the love of God, get away from Damien Dark?
Oh my God,
I'm so done with him.
Wars, flying around in the window.
Okay, so Hunter's still around. And something Barry Allen. So I've never actually seen Grodd in these episodes, in these shows. I saw the Flash episode where they set up Grodd. What?
Grodd?
Oh, you're ahead of me.
Oh, am I?
By like 3 or 4 seconds, yeah. I'm looking at this guy in a room and you're just cracking up and I'm like, what?
Right?
No, this is right away amazing, actually. Oh, and then we get the... Have you ever seen credits over an opening scene and then more credits? What?
Was this made by an ape?
guest starring John Noble. The title of the episode is about... I'm so confused. The title of the episode is about the real-life guest star named John Noble?
You just said it! You just said it!
You're still a couple seconds ahead of me.
Am I? Okay, I'll pause again. He just yelled, "Time to make America Grodd again."
Yeah, no, I got it now, yeah.
I was picking this dude up. Am I where you are?
I gotta say, though, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
This actor is spitting image of Obama. He looks great. Like, they found a kid. He looks really good.
Oh, there's your Damien Dark guy, right?
Damien Dark he's getting old. I got so sick of him in Arrow, and then when he showed up in this show, I was like, God, I gotta deal with the whole season of him as a partial big bad, and then he's still around, and now there's more than one Dark, apparently. I don't know what that's about.
I love that they just have Gorilla Grodd just in the day walking around, and like close-ups on him.
Yeah, but you know, though, I have respect for them for at least attempting to make this look good enough that they can do it in broad daylight. Like, maybe it's not smart, but it doesn't look as bad as I expected it to, honestly. Okay, maybe this shot.
Well, my thing with the CW is that they, like, have really terrible CGI, and they don't do anything to, like, hide it. They just, like, throw it right in your face.
Can I say just 5 minutes in it is?
Like...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I guess, like, that's, you know, I can respect that, but at the same time, it also looks bad. But I'm also laughing, so...
Yeah. And with this show, as superficial as a lot of this is, as long as I'm entertained in some way or another, and it's not taking itself too frickin' seriously, like, just 5 minutes in, I feel like this episode is paced the way I always wanted this show to be paced, where it just throws you right in and crazy stuff is happening.
So this woman became a demon. I'm guessing this is the one that fights Bebo, because I've seen that fight scene where it's a giant demon and Bebo.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's what that is, but I don't know.
Yeah, because so far this is just live-action cartoon show, and I respect that if it, again, doesn't take itself too seriously and isn't muddled in its tone.
I like how the, like, main villain of a season of Arrow is, like, an underling for a one-off villain in Flash.
Yeah. He was never cool. And they just won't get rid of him. If memory serves, he teamed up with, what's his name? Barrowman's character, for a season of this show.
What?
Okay, no, that's smart, though. That he made him tiny and just put him in a jar, like...
No, that should be in the highlight reel for Brandon Rao.
I thought this whole episode was just going to be them trying to stop Grodd from killing Obama. They've already done that. It's done.
Well, now, he'll break out, and then he'll be like, "I'll get you next time, Obama."
Okay. Like, I'm expecting there to be some, like, really obviously preachy stuff in this.
I'm gonna be really sad if the premise I was sold on this episode is just the opening and we have a different plot.
Yeah, and Netflix is notorious for that kind of thing, too. Where, and I mean, like maybe you read the premise somewhere else, but, like, that's also the Netflix premise, and I see that a lot with stuff, where it'll be like a you're not seeing the forest for the trees thing, where they'll take, like, an element that's just a real quick part of the... Wait, did she just flashy thing Barack Obama?
Yeah, she just mind-wiped Barack Obama.
Does she have a neuralizer?
I am, like, very certain now that this is just gonna be the opening, and I'm gonna be very sad.
But so far it really does feel like you're not getting Obama. I gotta tell you, when Katie Lotz first got cast as Sarah Lance, never in a million years did she think she would get the line, "You're not getting Obama."
Look at this woman with her machine gun just in the background.
This really is. I just want to get this out real quick. This really does seem to so far be leaning into the part of the show that I always thought it should, where it's, you know, just kind of Super Friends for adults. Because my big complaint with the first season was that it just couldn't decide how silly it wanted to be, and it took itself too seriously. And the stuff I was actually sometimes enjoying about it was just the goofy Saturday morning cartoon stuff. Like, I don't even mind the bad time travel logic as much if I'm not having to sit through so much, like, you know, attempting to tug at my heartstrings character drama. If they also play that with a wink, then it works, I think. You know, could be difficult to reconcile with the rest of the continuity if other shows are more legitimately taking themselves somewhat seriously, but taking it on its own, I'm more okay with that.
I feel embarrassed for Brandon Routh. He was Superman. Now he's here.
Yep. And he's not even on the show anymore, I don't think.
No, didn't he leave like a few seasons ago?
I thought he left around 5 or 6. But maybe it was even earlier, I'm not sure. Let's see, we've got a couple super chats. So Tom has been watching the show, and so he's telling us things. Thanks, Tom. He just says, Damon and his daughter, and then he says his daughter is possessed. Okay. She looks possessed. I wasn't sure by what, but...
She did become a giant demon, and was like Ghost Ridering out. But on a TV budget.
So I thought a couple seasons before this, in these shows in general, that I don't remember his name anymore, but the actor playing Heatwave, Rory, was starting to get like really over the top in like getting the cartoon character thing before maybe anybody else in these shows did, and his voice is even more insane now than it was before. I can't believe how deep and growly and goofy it's gotten.
Well, yeah, and he was always like like even in Flash when he first shows up.
Yeah.
Why wasn't he like that in Blade Trinity?
He's on a whole other level now.
I guess Captain Cold has already left.
Oh, look, it's Niobe from Matrix Resurrections.
That is correct.
I just watched that again, and she looks a lot like her. She looks a lot like 90-year-old Jada Pinkett Smith.
I thought you were gonna say it's that new DC character Naomi that's getting a show, and the character's name is just Naomi.
Yeah, that sounds like a really dynamic title for something.
Yeah, everybody loves Naomi.
Yeah, I'm really turning into a 6-year-old right now trying to watch cartoons. I'm bored now.
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell's happening. I just wanted Obama.
Well, there he is.
Giant ape chasing.
And you're not getting him. You're not getting Obama. It's still surreal to me that Katie Lotz has been in the show this whole time and is like the main character now, and has been for a long time. Like she runs the ship. She's the captain and has been since season 2. And she was my favorite character in Arrow, and I collected her for a while. I have like a dozen, Katie Lotz, Sarah Lance, items, and I've not continued watching the show. It's just weird it's been on another 5 years since I dropped off it. My favorite character is the main character in the show, and I could not bring myself to keep watching it.
John Kellings' Captain Cold died in the season 1 finale. I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, I knew that. And they brought back... I want to say they brought back like an alternate universe version of him at some point or something. Cause
of course they did.
They do that a lot, because they're constantly doing multiverse, but...
I always thought it was stupid that they like moved Captain Cold and Heatwave into being on a superhero team immediately.
If you took a drink for every time this conversation has happened in the Arrowverse, you'd be dead now.
That's why it's just kind of going in one ear out the other.
The should we have killed the bad guy before or not? We wouldn't have to be having to deal with all this if we'd done that. Should superheroes kill or not? We cannot get past that. That is the drama of these shows.
I'm really feeling the drama, and I think the actors are too, which is why they're boring.
Yep. Nah, I was wrong.
I didn't realize
it's still this show.
Was like an actor in the show. I assumed it was an extra. But I guess she is a character.
AMC, that's a really good point. He says, my biggest gripe with the show is how it used the time travel conceit. Personally, I would have preferred it if it leaned into the DC's history, past or future, as opposed to real-world history.
Yeah, but real-world history is cheaper.
That's true, but they still have like 101 characters with costumes, and sometimes they will, go to like post-apocalyptic DC futures and stuff like that. So like they'll do some of that. But I'm with you. Like I like DC to be a little bit more fantasy laden, and like Marvel is generally the place to do more real world type stuff, and even with time travel, be a lot more okay with we go back to the World War II of the real world with the Marvel thing. I mean, we've done that kind of thing effectively with DC, but I'm with you. I'm a lot more interested in like the fictional history and fictional places and stuff in DC.
I just wanted this premise, but like a remake of Terminator, but with Barack Obama instead of Sarah Connor, and a giant gorilla instead of Arnold. I don't want to see Barack Obama telling this character what to do. Just throw a gorilla at him.
Well, of course, the problem with doing this story, and again, I'm going to try not to harp on this too much, but the problem with doing this story is the tone of this. It's really assuming that only certain kinds of people are watching the show, right? Like it's going.
I don't even care as much.
You're all with us that Barack Obama is like a wonderful character in history and an important person who did a lot for us, and your whole audience might not be Obama fans, and you're sort of playing it like, well, you're supposed to, and you're just, I don't know, you're leaving people out. And I'm not saying that you can't I don't know, tell stories where you like have an argument or something, but and I talk about this a lot, but this kind of thing, just the attitude of it feels like, well, we're making this for people that love this person, and you're supposed to, and I don't know, it feels a little in your face and preachy about it.
Well, that's what I wanted. I wanted in your face preachy political commentary with a giant gorilla running around. Instead, I got boring.
That was classy.
I feel like Brandon Routh doesn't care and just wants to see how far he can get away with stuff.
Yes. And he's been like that since almost the beginning of the show. I think he figured out what the show needed to be to survive pretty quickly.
He's watching Lord of the Rings? What is happening?
He was talking about that earlier. I'm sure this is supposed to parallel this story in some way.
Can we turn this off and watch Lord of the Rings? Oh, now they're going to the set of Lord of the Rings?
John Kelling, the fact that we never got Booster Gold in the show is weird. Yeah, that's true. Wait, what is happening? Are they going back to when this movie was made now? Okay, I'm confused. Do we have different characters in different time periods right now? Because I thought we were in 1992.
I hate this show so much.
What is this scene, Austin?
Can you come over here with a gun, please? That was pain.
You're gonna stop making jokes now, right? This is the one we need to watch. Okay, Austin. We're doing it, buddy.
I'm not convinced the other episodes will be this.
No, but I'm just saying if you hadn't seen that, you wouldn't have to sit through that scene.
But I got legitimate amazingness for like 5 minutes.
No, that's true. And it might have been worth it. I guess we'll see what enduring the rest of this is like. John Kelling. Oh, so it's... Okay. See, I didn't remember John Noble's name and who he played because I'm not a big fan of that. So apparently the idea is he's playing himself, and that's why his name is in the episode title. So John Kelling says Malleus, the big bad for the season, is voiced by John Noble, so they're getting actually John Noble to read some lines to trick Nora, and that's the joke.
That's really cringy.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either. It's so on the nose, and it's so fan-filmy.
No, we got this actor. We like Lord of the Rings. You guys like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I would rather watch Lord of the Rings.
It's so self-indulgent. So you know how you'll hear fans a lot say we need fans of source material to make the adaptations of that source material? Very often that's not what you want exactly. Like, you want, talented, not hack people that appreciate and understand a property to be making that or to be adapting that. But you don't just want fans to make things.
Imagine if in the Flash season where Tony Todd is like the voice of the villain, if he accidentally goes back in time to the set of Candyman and just talks to Tony Todd for a minute because we have him, he's there.
Well, Tony Todd's in Flash.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure if that's why you mentioned that.
Yeah, no, that was just the first thing I thought of just like an actor to go to.
That was... Didn't he voice Zoom, and then it was horribly disappointing when he takes his mask off and he's just some generic white guy, and you're like, okay, so Tony Todd was just doing his scary in the mask voice.
You see, Cap, this is where...
I hate that.
I handled it better than you did, because I watched up to when Tony Todd was Zoom, and then I never watched past that. So I didn't get to see who was in the Zoom costume.
I wish I'd done that. That's what I should have done. Tom, he said this a while ago, and I missed what the context was, but he just wrote, "Oh, just a little thing called Flashpoint," and I missed that line. But if you're quoting a line in the show, but yeah, they treat Flashpoint as a sort of major event, but not a major event, and kind of for good reason, because the things that it changed were really inconsequential, like making Diggle's kid a boy instead of a girl, and things like that. And they made it so that Flash and his girlfriend didn't kiss that one time, so that we could wait even longer to have to get them together. Remember that? It's the worst. Mr. Roboto, $2 super chat. When will you watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Right now.
Austin and a couple other people have been trying to get me for a long time to do commentaries on those. I have nothing insightful to bring to the table on that. I'm not a fantasy guy. I'm not a fan of those movies. I don't dislike them. They're enjoyable to go back to. I don't. I would be talking out of the other side of my face. Like, I really don't have anything to say about those movies.
Lord of the Rings is awesome.
That would be
This
me
sucks.
bringing, like, a couple other people on to talk about that while I sat there and watched it. Like, I wouldn't. Like, I would mute my microphone. This whole Obama thing isn't working. This preposterous, convoluted idea we had.
Acting.
Summon him. TV acting. What was that? You can't
can't
tell
hear
the
the
difference
beeping?
between a recorded voice and a real voice.
You also can't hear that he speaks, and you hear like beep 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 right in your ear.
Oh, well, at least it's in her ear. For a second, I thought he had a speaker somewhere, but I forgot that he put a thing in her ear.
Yeah,
So,
well,
I mean,
the
at least you
flew
wouldn't
into
have
his
necessarily
ear.
acoustic. Although you could have more acoustic problems just because you're playing back recorded dialogue.
Oh, Devontae Brown says the kiss was before Flashpoint, which makes sense because I never watched through to Flashpoint, but I remember that kiss thing.
Oh, this is before. Okay. But I quit watching this show at this point. Was I still watching Flash? I can't keep track of the timeline with all this anymore.
It's in season 1, I guess. It's the first time he time travels. They do that.
But
So
the
I guess-
actual Flashpoint event thing is like season 3 or something, isn't
That's
it?
season 3, yeah.
Tom put in a super chat saying the same thing somebody else said earlier, that the actor from Lord of the Rings also voiced Malice. Thanks, man. But we already discovered that. And then he said this episode is very muddled.
This woman makes me want to watch.
You're a
Ash
terrible
versus the
person.
Evil Dead.
It's redundant to say you're a terrible anything else. You're Damien Dark. I'm sorry, what?
This woman makes me want to watch Ash versus the Evil Dead. Basically, this show makes me want to watch good
Just
things.
other things.
Yeah.
That was really funny, though. When are you going to watch Lord of the Rings? Right now! No, this is still hard to sit through, Austin.
Do you remember The Exorcist, but instead of like makeup, they just put like Sharpie marks on her face?
Yeah, that looks like prosthetics I could do right now.
She doesn't even look different. They just Sharpied her face in some spots.
Yeah, wouldn't you at least, like, make her face pale or something? Like, change the complexion?
Yeah.
It's so lazy.
They should have started by deleting the script.
I got too excited 5 minutes in. I really thought this had gone the direction it always should have.
It was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
No, me too. And now it's just another kind of shoved together,
Oh no!
attempting
Rending
to be
says
emotionally
that,
manipulative CW show. Yikes.
Apparently the like black voice white actor thing is common because apparently season 5 of Arrow has Prometheus with Worf as the voice, and then he's a generic white guy.
Okay. I didn't know about that.
That's
Or if I did, I'd
terrible.
forgotten, because I watched some of 5, but I don't even remember Dorn in that.
That's terrible.
It is.
That's really
This
funny
is.
though. That like a bunch of shows that do like a lot of like pandering cast black people to do voices and then cast white people to play them in the suit.
Uh-huh. They've got to constantly impress you with diversity and, like, scream at the top of their lungs about, like, how okay they are with gay people. And then they do stuff like that. Okay.
That's really funny.
You know what you could do? You could just do that stuff and not talk about it, and then tell some stories. Like, do I have a problem with Sarah Lance being bisexual? No, absolutely not. And she was established that way in the first place. You know what I do have a problem with?
Her being boring.
Yeah, but also, we're trying so hard to impress people with progressive, ideals and stuff. I don't even want to say ideals, just, this is what's big right now, so we've got to, like, really shove it in your face and be like, look, we're doing this. That she stopped being bisexual at some point, and she's just a lesbian now. Like, we forgot that she was bisexual.
I like how she's talking to the man that killed her sister, and they're having, like, a dramatic thing, but her face is just... I like that.
Walking away angry. We need to start checking off things on the Smallville box. In the Smallville boxes.
I still don't understand how this is connected. This is clearly, like, another plot for something else.
They came here to save these people or something. I can't remember who she's supposed to be. Is that Vixen? I can't remember anymore.
Oh, is that supposed to be
or
Vixen?
Like the second Vixen? Because there were two Vixens, I think, and I think that she's
like
maybe the second one.
Vixen show,
yes.
Right?
Yeah. But I think she was the first. I can't remember. Or maybe she is the second one. Because wasn't the first one a... I'm having to go back years in my memory here.
I've never seen Vixen in any of this stuff, so I know she was in an animated show.
Yeah. Well, and those animated shows were really just, like, 80-minute movies that were cut up into, like, 10-minute parts, and if you put them together, they just watch like a direct-to-video movie. The only one of those I watched was Dreadful, so I've never bothered with the Vixen one. But I thought, like, there was an original Vixen that they got time-traveling from the old Justice Society, and then she passed her mantle to a present-day character. Am I remembering that right? I don't remember.
John Kelling says she's Vixen from 1942.
Oh, that is the 42 Vixen. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Ben Wasserman says she's Vixen's
thank
ancestor. You. Oh, they do JSA. I did not know that.
AMC, Cap, you've seen Arrow Season 5 and 6. You reviewed them as part of the Omnibus with Eric back in the day. Yeah, I know.
Oh, no.
I couldn't remember if I'd seen all of 5 or not. But I just, in the moment, I'm not remembering the Dorn thing. Or did they, like, introduce the present-day Vixen, and then the second Vixen is actually the first Vixen? I don't remember anymore. What if Grodd was a great USA president? Asked Mr. Roboto with a super chat. That'd be a great twist. That'd be a wonderful turn.
An awesome episode. Imagine you end like an episode like the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes, where like they show up in the Lincoln Memorial as Grodd. That'd be awesome.
Damien Dark basically just said, "I have a daughter, and that makes it okay for me to break the law." He goes, besides, he took my daughter.
Imagine if he was telling Grodd to kill Obama and the line was, I have a daughter, that means it's okay for me to pay a gorilla to kill a president.
Do you notice how Sarah Lance put on an entire stick of lipstick for this episode?
Yes.
I mean, it was all the lipstick.
That's because she spent most of it doing this.
Tom, another super chat. Thanks, man. I think she's Isis in the comics, but has a different name because of the group. Okay, yeah, and I don't know that character at all. I never looked into that.
I did hear that they were introducing Isis at one point, but that was like years ago, so I don't know. That might be what it is.
This was years ago. We're into season 7 now with the show, so this was... I know it's not. This is 4 years ago. Oh, is this where they start getting together? Because like I said earlier, I read that they were together a long time before they finally got engaged. I bet they do a bunch of relationship drama where it's like off again, on again. But yeah, so she falls in love with a clone, and then apparently they're going to get married. And the clone becomes co-captain with Sarah Lance.
And then... Oh...
I'm glad I read that somewhere before the show, or I would have been really lost. Oh, you're right about that, AMC. That's what it was. He says, I think the first Vixen was just in the animated movie that you were talking about, and then her first Arrow appearance. Then they recast her as the same character when they did the JSA stuff and beyond. That's what it was.
Okay. They didn't have Vixen, and then she left, so they got a new Vixen. And then they recast the original Vixen. Like Batwoman.
God, the Atom is just the most obnoxious person ever. I mean, they're writing him like DCEU Flash, right? Where he's supposed to be the, like, stand-in fanboy for the audience. We don't need somebody doing that for us. Can't we just geek out about the things that are worth geeking out about? Do we need somebody to constantly go, like, here's an actor I love, isn't that great? No, you don't. And quit making that face, because it's irritating.
No, Cap, it's like the laugh track. It's like the laugh track in Big Bang Theory. It's not funny, so you need a laugh track to be like, laugh.
God, so you just need him to constantly be like, you guys also think it's cool we got John Noble, right? And put his name in the episode. Like, hey, John Noble! Quit!
Show me Grodd in the jar again. That's all I want to see. Oh my god!
No, our commenters are writing a better episode. It's like, let's do the episode where Grodd kills Barack Obama, then becomes somehow sound like he was born in America or is even a human being, but somehow becomes president of the United States and then is the best president we ever had. And it's basically like the final episode of Powerpuff Girls where Mojo Jojo takes over the world and then creates a utopia, and it turns out that the best thing that could have possibly happened to the planet was Mojo Jojo takes over. And then the only reason it doesn't work out is because he gets bored and he misses, like, lasering people and stomping on everything. It's wonderful. It's one of the best finales of anything.
Yeah, I'd rather watch that premise with Gorilla Grodd.
That'd be great.
Oh my god. What?
That lady got this role when she couldn't get a zombie in Walking Dead.
That woman was able to cast a rhino for 2 seconds to show she could do that, but they couldn't afford for it to stay.
No, Rory, you're not dying today, because wouldn't this be a weird episode for you to go out in? The Grodd in a jar episode is where we get rid of a major character.
I just want, like, a whole series of that. Where it's like Grodd in the jar, Grodd in the cupboard, like all stuff like that.
AMC, wait, Ava was a clone too? I missed some in the middle. Oh no, God! He's escaped!
He's this big, but he's out.
I have a daughter, that makes it okay for me to release Grodd.
Yes!
Yes! Oh my god. Your time must end? Somebody wrote that line, Austin. Somebody wrote your time must
really
end.
Deliver it. It sounded like AI like recording.
Well, that's what he sounded like earlier. Is he gonna kick the soccer ball? Oh wait, she's a Vixen or whatever. Is this where Vixen?
Oh, is that supposed to be what Vixen's
came from and got her powers?
Vixen. That's Vixen's grandma, I guess.
Is that what it is? Okay. Why do you have kryptonite?
Because
He's got a big chain with kryptonite over it. He looks like Superman in his first movie where he's got that kryptonite around his neck.
oh, Wally is here. So John Kelling mentioned Wally. He said, "Why is Wally?"
Yeah,
here?
that's.
Oh, I thought that was Obama.
I thought, yeah, because they're both around the same age.
God.
I did the same thing, and I've seen this kid. A couple scenes ago, I realized who it was, but didn't mention it.
To be fair, I never got to Wally in
I don't know what happened,
Flash.
and it's been too long.
Why didn't where? Oh, I guess none of them.
No,
were
I'm
in
sure
their
we're gonna
costume.
get some all black people with the same comments, but in my defense, they're about the same age. I have a daughter. Why can't you understand that?
I have a daughter. That means it's okay for me to confuse Obama and Kid Flash.
It's like if Sandman was your big bad over multiple seasons of multiple shows.
See, this is all I wanted: an elderly woman fighting a gorilla.
AMC, yeah, Kid Flash was here for like a season, then left inexplicably to make only occasional appearances in the Flash. I didn't realize he wasn't a
That's kind
major
of
player in that.
unfortunate that happens to Arrow and Flash, like with Roy Harper and Kid Flash. Obviously, it's not the same thing, but like just that they lose them.
And then he says in this show added this whole Buddhist element to Wally. Yeah, that's out of nowhere.
Oh, weird.
What is this continuity now? God.
He just threw Gorilla Grodd into the sky.
And you know me, as difficult as some of this is to get through, I'm going to be way too curious after we watch 3 of these not to just go back and finally see the rest of the show.
Dagan Spear says, "Oh, Captain Austin, and you made the black actor voice."
That wouldn't have happened if we weren't talking over this whole episode.
That means it evens out. We said a racist thing, and we fought for like over a racist thing.
We didn't
So
say a
it evens
racist thing.
out.
We made an honest mistake.
I made an honest mistake. I don't know about you.
No, I made an honest mistake. You did a racist thing. We both did exactly the same
You
thing.
basically just hit me with a no.
So I've
you.
decided that if either of us is racist, it's you by default.
Fine, I'll take that. I'll take the blame.
I don't know why, except you picked this episode, so I'm throwing shade at you because you made me watch
Potter,
this.
that means it's okay for me to choke the life from you.
AMC, Damien Dark's not a bad person. He just had bad luck. Also, in our defense, and especially Austin, since he never saw Wally before, he didn't use his powers until right in that scene.
Yeah.
So you didn't even know what he was there for and what he was doing.
No,
your line is, after 10,000 years, I'm free. Whoa, what?
My God, this looks
Is she
horrible.
man-bat?
Where's Gorilla Grodd? I want to see him again.
Okay, so I'm gonna take back what I said earlier. None of the CG should be in broad daylight, and I'll also say it maybe was a smart call to back the camera off as that transformation was happening.
Oh yeah, that is definitely the demon thing that fights Bebo.
Okay.
This show is embarrassing. Everybody that worked on it.
It really is. Wow. That's not even Sci-Fi Channel original movie good. Okay.
I'm gonna cough blood after seeing that. It was terrible.
That was really awful. Well, maybe it gets better. I mean, I don't
That was
trust
like
that, but...
opposite of the Clifford experience, where Clifford I was like, oh, this will probably be funny. And then it was way better than I expected it to be.
Is this way worse or about what you figured?
No, this is way worse. The premise of what I thought the episode was 5 minutes.
Is this like so bad you're gonna like look deeper into a show when I suggest it next time? Where it's like, I'm not just gonna watch whatever, man. Like, I'm not, I'm not putting myself in a Legends of Tomorrow situation again.
Uh, I mean, I am still like what, like 6 for 1 now, but yeah, that definitely makes me think about
It's not
life.
any worse than Batwoman.
Batwoman's awesome though. I would rather watch Batwoman than whatever the hell that was.
Okay, so let me set up the next episode, then we're going to take a quick break. The next one, if you are brave enough to stick around with us, I don't know that I am. Season 5, Episode 14 is the next one we're going to watch. And I picked this just based on the premise. It sounded potentially kind of fun. It's called The One Where We're Trapped on TV. Yeah, just commandeering Friends-type episode titles now.
I can't wait for to go and meet the cast of Friends and just talk to them for like 5 minutes because we have the cast of Friends.
Yeah, and then
Except
they've
probably
all
won't be
been
able to-
voicing bad guys the whole season.
Oh my god, if Gorilla Grodd showed up and he had the voice
He was
of
just Chandler?
David Schwimmer.
No, that's even
Yes.
better.
That'd be awesome.
That would be amazing. Yeah, right. He just shows up and he's like all excited, like he's on a game show, and he's like a wacky wingo card. Yeah, that'd be great. Anyway,
Be worth
let's
watching.
take a quick break, everybody, and we'll be back in about 3 or 4 minutes. And if anybody pops in wondering where we are, just let them know that we'll be right back. Season 5, Episode 14 is the next one, and if you forget that, it is also listed in the description. We'll be right back.
Hello.
And we're back. Hello,
I just
Austin.
yelled on Discord about the person, like at the person that told me about this episode.
Are you starting to wish we just watched the one?
I'm starting to wish we just watched more 60s Spider-Man.
There was a comment somebody left I just noticed that I wanted to mention because I thought it was nuts. AMC again, he really knows the show, so I'm reading a lot of his comments because he's catching me up. They sort of killed Sarah for a bit, and it was revealed that the Sarah we were watching was a clone. So then the legends travel back in time to save the real Sarah before being abducted by aliens. So I want to know what the timeline of that was, because Sarah died already, and then when she was resurrected, she kind of turned into the character she is in this show. Like, she's really not who she was when I loved her. So wait, they killed her again? And, like, how long were we watching the clone? Was it from the beginning of the series? Or, like... That's nuts.
See, if you had said that exact description, except you were talking about Riverdale, I'd be like, this is awesome. But because it's this show, I'm like, oh, it's probably, like, bad.
Tom had left another super chat that said, are you Grodd? Are you a Grodd, Zool from Ghostbusters? He's just making Ghostbusters references. Okay, so season...
I like the part in Ghostbusters where Gozer is like, are you a god, Zool from Ghostbusters? And then, you know, Winston is that famous line, Ray, if somebody asks you if you're a Godzilla from Ghostbusters, you say yes.
I'm just reading the super chat. Season 5, episode 14, the one where we're trapped on TV, and this is one of those things that sounds like a potentially fun premise, but I'm really concerned about it after what we just watched. Because apparently the idea is that they're all going to be in popular TV shows and get amnesia and not know who they are, and I guess we'll see what that's like.
I gotta assume the position. Okay.
Oh, and John Kelly says Sarah kind of... See, I shouldn't have done this. I read a different synopsis somewhere else, but as opposed to Netflix, and I didn't realize it was an amnesia thing, and if I'd known that, I would have probably picked something else. John Kelly, Sarah kind of becomes immortal at some point moving on. Of course she does.
Well, I mean, after you die twice, you might as well become immortal, right?
It's just...
That's my motto.
It's just... It's like watching a train that ran into another train that was already on fire, that had, before it caught on fire, had run over, like, a bunch of school children. Like, that's what this feels like.
Yeah, like when I open up, you know, my personal motto book, the first two rules in it are, number one, never trust a person with, like, a moving mouth on their mask, and B, if you die twice, just become immortal.
You not only get multiple lives like you're in a Mario game, but if you die too many times, the world can't hurt you anymore.
Exactly. What's going to stop you? You've already died twice. What, are you going to die again?
That's a good point. I wanted to say, what are we saying to children with that? And then I realized there's no kids watching these shows. There's no people watching these shows. Let's go ahead and watch the show.
Like,
the show.
The like child like PSA at the end, but it's like Ray Palmer or whatever walks out and he's like, "Remember, kids, if you're gonna put a toaster in your bathtub, make sure you do it twice so you can become immortal after."
Madman. Buffy didn't become immortal. Well, that's because that show had some integrity. Ben Wasserman, dude, you know this show's been consistently well-reviewed since Season 2. Like, you're oddly looking at this the way people used to view Adam West Batman. I'm just calling it like I'm seeing it. I'm just, like...
I'm just bored.
This does not seem like a good show to me. I don't know.
I'm not bored in Adam West Batman.
Yeah, that was, I think, certainly a misunderstood show to some degree. I don't see how this is. It seems just as schlocky as the rest of this stuff, and I've said this before, but like I don't care about consensus, so like that doesn't budge me on what I'm looking at. Like watching more of this show, if I see more episodes that I like or it gets better, can certainly turn me around. Or if I had I don't know. I almost said if I had a conversation with a person that suggested some things I hadn't thought of, but like with I don't know, it's so schlocky and taking itself too seriously in places. And it's not even just that it's schlock. Like I can appreciate good schlock, but like,
well, I loved the first
it's
5
so
minutes.
pandery.
I was right there with it. You could watch my like interest go down.
Yeah, I was really with it at the beginning too. No, I really enjoyed the first 5 minutes of that.
And then I perked up a bit when Grodd came back.
I wanted the whole thing to be that.
Schlock.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that stuff was great. I just wanted to be a live action cartoon that knows just what it is. It's that Gotham thing where like if only it could hold on to with Gotham that black comedy 60s Batman really lean into that and be totally consistent. Fine. I mean, I really enjoy that. It's when it becomes like insulting typical TV. So yeah, hearing like a bunch of critics said it was good. It doesn't change what I'm looking at with respect to everybody and what they enjoy. Like, I don't know why people are reviewing this well, but it's not changing how I'm feeling about it.
Madman says Michelle Pfeiffer died 8 times allegedly. I just like that he wrote allegedly at the end of that.
I also like that right after that he said Catwoman. Like, I didn't mean the person Michelle Pfeiffer, but
Michelle
the
Pfeiffer died 8 times,
character.
allegedly.
Red Kalel Legends really doesn't take it seriously at all. That's the fun of it. Some of those talkie scenes, I'm not with you on that. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
No, that was like an entire episode of nothing.
Well, anyway, let's go and watch the next one and see what this is
ending.
like.
We just had to fill that out. Let's get into this next one, though.
Okay, so make sure you're at timestamp 0. Get ready to press play when I say now, and I'm just about to do that. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now.
Spartacus, here we go.
Oh, you know why you're ahead of me? Because you don't have the CW logo at the beginning of it.
Oh, okay.
That's
How
what
long
it is.
is it? I can pause for a few seconds.
Yeah, like 3 seconds. 3-4 seconds.
Okay.
That's what it was.
That makes sense. Yeah, because mine just starts.
And also with this stuff, very often with me, it's a creativity problem.
Yeah, definitely.
There's just kind of a lack of effort. You see, right off, this is a fun setup. I'm like this so far.
Oh my god.
That line she has at the beginning of this immediately sets a tone of this is ridiculous. Don't take it too seriously. I love that.
This woman's creepy.
But yeah. No, this is great. Like these are the kind of premises that I want for this kind of show for an episodic thing. I feel like I've seen this actress in something. What? Oh god. Oh, maybe not. Did they just cut her that person's cord?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We have literal Greek mythology fates.
Oh my god, it's Walter Kovacs.
That guy's gonna... It's Walter Kovacs. It's nerdy Walter Kovacs.
It's like Walter Kovacs if he was played by Kramer.
But explain to me why this guy is allowed to live. Why have
because
the fates...
the world is wrong.
Yeah. Why is he allowed to do that? Why haven't the Fates just killed him already?
Well, it's mandatory fun.
It is mandatory fun! That's awesome. That intro, that's freaking cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. This is already a better episode, but I had that last time where we had a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, but this is legitimately a better setup, right? I mean, we're basically doing a campy version of what's that?
It's better setup, but the last setup is more what I want. But this is like a good.
Sure, but this is a really fun sci-fi premise, and it's kind of like a campier version of something like 1984. Oh, this is just WandaVision, isn't it?
Well, I was thinking like WandaVision mixed with Loki at the beginning.
Oh, because of the time travel thing, yeah.
Yeah, and you got like the woman on the screen and stuff.
See, I was really afraid that this was gonna be like real on like the advertisements at the bottom. That's great. Yeah, because this is just Friends.
Yeah. When I figured it would be Friends, the thumbnail.
I'm really liking this so far. Well, and what's kind of nice is WandaVision I thought was going to give us Friends and didn't, so I'm really kind of appreciating that we're getting it here. I hope that this doesn't ultimately suck. But what I was worried about was that it would just be real shows that Warner's had access to, and they're doing fake versions of real shows. And that's what I would have hoped this would do, so that's cool. This set is brilliant. And the color saturation is right, and the camera angles are right, like they're shooting this correctly. This show is off the rails. That is true.
This show's breaking the conditioning.
Yeah. John Kelling, Legends tends to change their logo from time to time to fit with the episode. Oh, that's cool if they do that regularly. Rockalel, I wouldn't jump into an episode of the current season. You'd be very lost. Now, we're not going to. We're just watching the stuff that's currently on Netflix. So we're going to watch one more in 6. Because there's an episode where apparently they just go bowling, and I have to know.
I don't know.
Because that just sounds...
It could be very boring.
It might be, but it's just ridiculous that they did that, and I want to know. Now, the thing that WandaVision had over this, of course, was that the writing was authentic with the sitcoms, and that sometimes there would actually be jokes that would land in the way that they should with that stuff, and with what I'm picking up with this, I'm not having that.
Well, and you have, like, 2 really great actors in that.
Yeah. Which, of course, helps a lot, yeah.
I mean, I don't really like Friends, so I guess the humor here is on par for me with Friends.
That's fair. I am a fan of that show. Unabashedly, yeah, no, I'm not apologizing to you, Austin.
You better.
Brogalal says the bowling episode is great. I hope so. I'm excited. I want to see what that's like. Well, you know what? I'm not being fair, though, because the humor with this would have to be different because it's in this, you know, draconian environment. Right? So it's like this state-run entertainment that would be, like, really, you know, flaccid, and there would be no edge to it. and I'm probably giving the show too much credit for saying this, but you could almost read some satire into things like Friends, where it's like, really safe, innocuous entertainment that's not really pushing any boundaries.
Yeah, for sure.
With like Hollywood and advertisers controlling us to buy what they want us to, whereas this is a state doing that.
Yeah, you can really play with like the ads and stuff, especially like they've already done that a bit. Oh, I guess they're leaving shows now. Oh, are they in Downton Abbey now?
I think they are. They're clearly having a lot of fun with getting around, away from the standard formula with the show, which was that Smallville thing a lot too, with the people who aren't themselves episodes. Where you tell the actors get really bored having to do the same thing every week, so when they get to do special episodes like this, it's kind of almost more for the actors to keep them interested than it is anything. High Castle Abbey. Oh, okay. We're not blending Man in the High Castle with Downton Abbey, are we?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I feel bad for Matt Ryan that he got stuck doing this show after his show was so good.
I need to watch his show because I've never seen it.
Have you not?
No. This is gonna be my first experience.
John Constantine thing, and he's not even John Constantine right now.
No,
he's having to be this Downton Abbey character, and I've never seen that show, so I can't comment on this at all.
You haven't seen Downton Abbey 2, the new movie?
Nope. And neither of you.
That's not true. I mean, it is true because it hasn't come out yet. But
oh. They figured out they were in a TV show very quickly.
What's like in WandaVision when Vision?
No, it's not. It
first
takes them a million years to figure out they're in a TV show in WandaVision.
No, remember he walks in and he's like, "Hello, my wife. I am in a television." That's like the actual dialogue.
No, it's not. I mean, they have hiccup moments where they're figuring things out, but it's not like this. It's weird to see him without stubble.
Racist?
Sorry, what?
Said, oh no, is Constantine racist?
Yeah, Constantine is, but Constantine is not.
Oh.
Wow! Cinematographic says, Legends is like a comic relief sidekick who won't leave you the hell alone and doesn't know when to stop talking. Basically, this show is Harry Osborn.
Oh, yikes. Poor Harry Osborn.
That was brutal. So John Kelling left a super chat earlier that we missed.
Oh, sorry,
What's
no,
that?
Go ahead.
What were you saying?
I was just going to ask if this is before or after Brandon Routh left.
I wasn't sure when he left.
But sorry, go ahead and read your super chat.
But I wouldn't think so, because he was still there through Crisis. Mm-hmm. Or was Crisis the first episode of this season? And maybe he left in between there somewhere. Because I know their episode of Crisis was the first episode of a season, and it must have been 5.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so here's a super chat from John Cowling. What B-list DC heroes would you have team up to travel through time and screw up the timeline just enough to save the day? I'm not sure how many things I could think of that haven't been in this show or in the Arrowverse. They've adapted so many things.
Oh, is it just supposed to be like stuff that hasn't been in this, or just
I mean, I guess maybe not, but it
just like any B-list?
It just seems kind of redundant to pick characters that have been in this, but
B-list DC hero.
I will say it's weird that because we referenced it so much early on that we never got Blue Beetle in these shows. We had so much Ted Kord stuff early, and I don't think it ever happened.
Does it say how many I have to have, or
no? Just which ones? Just I guess pick a few. I'm gonna throw Guy Gardner in there.
I'm gonna say 2 Blue Beetles and a Beast Boy.
No, not Beast Boy!
Yeah.
And I agree with the person earlier that said it was weird that Booster Gold's never been in the show, but I don't like Booster Gold, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Booster Gold as well, just because.
God! Just picking characters I don't like. I guess, I don't know. I'm not even sure what counts as B-list anymore. Like, because, you know, the Teen Titans are kind of not B-list characters anymore, because I'd say Raven, but I don't think she's B-list anymore.
Well, in all of my characters, their names start with B, so they are in the B-list.
Oh, AMC said Brandon Routh was in this through season 6, apparently. No, through 5. Through 5.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if you think of anybody else, throw them in there.
Yeah, I got all of mine are B-list because they all start with B's.
And Tom put in a super chat, and I have to read it because he put it in. But
now I gotta read it.
Well, he said actually, can you see the super chats? Because I'd rather you read this one than me.
Okay, I can read it.
Can you read it? Go ahead.
This show feels like a trip to the proctologist.
That's what he wrote.
I'm 9. I don't know what that means.
I just thought it would sound better coming from you. I don't know what that means. We're staying in Downton Abbey longer than I thought we would. I figured we'd jump around a little bit more.
No, you gotta pick what's popular. You gotta stay with it. What show do you think they're going to next? What's your prediction?
I thought it was all going to be current stuff that's on, and I was kind of shocked by Friends, so now I'm not... It's not going to be another sitcom, right?
They just said it's going to be Star Trek.
It's going to be what?
Star Trek.
Oh, they're going to do a Star Trek thing? Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
They are doing Star Trek. I did not pick this because they did this. I didn't know about this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's Sarah Lance
really
as Kirk.
Stop.
I'm so sorry, Katie Lotz. I'm so sorry.
It's like she doesn't have a take. She just knows she has to have pauses between words.
They're having fun with this though. It's fun. We've got Klingons that look like they're wearing Romulan outfits. Kind of.
Given her a spray tan to look more like Kirk, right?
Yes. It was totally worth it just to hear Katie Lotz go, space! I mean, everybody and its dog has done this kind of Star Trek parody.
Yes, and everyone has done better Kirk impression.
She's trying. It's kind of funny. That was kind of funny. It is weird to do this after Orville. That was really funny, though, when she was like, wait, can you not even understand me? She got to turn her translator on. That was great.
Oh my god.
They're all on wires, just flying around everywhere. Well. Oh, it's unfortunate to see him kicked up and not Klingon makeup. Oh, they're all androids. Okay. I kind of wish we'd explore this world a little more, because that's what I was interested in.
Yeah, this like this world's pretty cool. Like the 1984 kind of dystopian.
Yeah. Where you've just got the, oppressive overlords.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what show police.
I wonder what show Brandon Routh is going to show up in. I'm just trying to guess what like the next shows they go to are.
They just they're making up versions of everything else and just parroting everything, and then all of a sudden they just have photon torpedoes. They didn't even give it another name. It's just photon torpedoes.
It's like a superhero movie with the one character, which is straight up a character from Spider-Man.
Wait, what are you talking about?
In superhero movie, there's the one character that just is from Spider-Man.
Strom?
Dr. Strom.
I brought that up at another show the other day. Were you there for that?
Yep. Yeah, that was
okay.
when we did the 60s. It might have been after the show. But,
I couldn't remember when we talked about that, yeah. They've definitely seen Galaxy Quest. That graphics not terrible. I mean, it's a little muddled, but their
little logo looks like the Wu-Tang symbol.
Yeah, I'm not loving that. But I don't know. They're looking at the Okudas a little bit with those graphics. I like that 60s computer text, though. That's fun.
Yeah, I like the kind of like retro future look.
Oh, and then that makes you buy more why you would have a 60s looking show like this. Although I don't know why you'd have that and Friends.
A modern
yeah, you got like a 90s thing, and then you got like a 2010s thing. What is the song? I really didn't expect to see Katie Watts doing a Kirk this long. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
John Kelling still wished Jonah Hex could have joined the team for a season or two. Oh
my god.
So that happened.
Oh, it's Mr. Rogers.
Oh man, I wasn't expecting this.
I'm pretty sure you planned this. Oh my god, that's creepy.
I want to walk away now. I don't want to see this happen.
I like that big green crayon.
Yeah, it's weird that we did such a like full-on Friends set, but we're not really making this look that much like the Mr. Rogers set at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They ran out of money.
I guess so, yeah. This is really generic. We're just pushing Rogers out of his own house? That's pretty funny, actually. We're not even going to be in this show for any amount of time. They basically just went, we don't know how to write this as a parody. We're going to just shove them out. And they all still have amnesia.
And they're still talking with their, like, show voices.
Yes. But Katie Lotz doesn't have to keep doing a Kirk anymore.
Well, she was still doing it.
Was she?
Yeah, that's what made me go, oh, they're still doing it.
Oh. But wearing a cop outfit? Why is that happening?
I guess because they have to have clothing that fits their shows, I guess. When you go into a different universe, your outfit changes.
So if Mr. Rogers on his show was somehow playing with a Star Trek ship, the first thing he would say is, make sure the kids that, like, you use your own imagination and make up your own stories, and that you're not just like trapped into whatever people in a TV show tell you you're supposed to be doing. Even if he could, he would never play with licensed product. That was very dramatic.
I don't know what that was, but I liked it.
Tom put in another super chat and just said, oh, it's this episode. It is. I guess he was out for a bit. Oh, and now they're remembering who they are. And flashing back to episodes I never saw.
They flash back to that guy coming back. If he dies a second time, he'll be immortal.
John Kelling Legends is still such a weird name for the team. Yeah, and a pretentious thing to ever call yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because we are
Especially when you're
legends.
the team of, like, D-list DC characters.
Yeah, I mean, that's a, like, long-running word associated with DC stuff, so, I mean, it's kind of cool that they even thought to use it, but it's one of those things where everything has to be so on the nose with these shows that we can't just have a title. It has to be the name of the team canonically in the show. Like, I don't mind that as the title of the TV show, but I kind of wish it wasn't their team name.
Mm-hmm.
Although it would work better if no one ever knew them. You know?
Well, they are jumping, like, from place to place. So,
they play
you
around
could
with that
do
a little bit here and there, but too many people are aware of them. John, I was immortal once. I got over it. AMC, I didn't know this. There's also an episode where Sarah cosplays as Supergirl. And as it turns out, Katie Lotz would have actually made for a good Supergirl. Yeah, I wish we'd done anything with this set.
I don't like that everybody just stands around while these two make out.
Is that making you uncomfortable?
It makes me very uncomfortable. It's like the end of the first Transformers where they're making out on top of Bumblebee while Optimus Prime narrates in the background.
Tom says, I wasn't out. I remember your reaction when we found out they were doing a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood episode. Oh, I see. Oh, he's back.
Oh, I assumed he was one of them, but I guess not.
No, I think he is.
I don't like how creepy their Mr. Rogers is.
See, I was worried as soon as I realized we were going there, because that's what we always do with parodies of Mr. Rogers, and I don't like it. You know. I like that he's looking into the camera, though.
Vibes. I don't like
Is he gonna sing? Oh my god, he is gonna sing. I appreciate at least they remember that Mr. Rogers, like, wrote his own music, and because a lot of people don't go to anything but the standard theme song with Mr. Rogers.
Oh,
Eh,
AMC asks us about the Diggle-led show. I did hear about that.
yes.
It's really, really funny.
Justice U. There's no way that goes to
You
series.
gotta scrape the bottom of that
They're
barrel.
trying so hard to come up with anything else to put in that continuity. And here's the thing: I like Diggle. I like the guy who plays him. I don't know that there's anything left to do with any of those characters, but like if you're gonna bring back anybody, that would be probably about the only person that I would care to watch
Mr.
in
Rogers
a show.
control the universe by snapping his fingers. What?
But that's not a premise that I can get excited about or get behind, certainly. But like Diggle was in an episode of the new Superman show, and he was good in that. Like I wouldn't mind him sticking around. And
Interesting. I assumed they didn't have anyone from the like Arrow stuff in that.
I wasn't sure they. Oh, we're back to Friends. No, that's about the only thing they did, and I was really surprised. But it was handled in such a way where it didn't matter if you'd ever seen those shows.
Yeah, interesting that the two shows they're trying to get off the ground right now are both team things.
Yes.
With that Gotham Knights show and Justice U.
Yeah, and like, B-list spin-offy things.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think
I'm
that
surprised
they
did try to do a Constantine show.
That's just what I was about to say. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Maybe they just went, it didn't work the last time, let's not even bother. But it's not like they're getting a revenue anyways. Like,
So we would be remiss if we didn't mention how terrible that fire was.
it was very bad, yes.
So are you still bored with the show like you were last episode?
Admittedly, yes.
You haven't been talking a lot, so. Oh my
It's
god,
more
Constantine is singing
interesting-
a Mr. Rogers song now.
This just kind of isn't for me, but it's better than the last episode is, surely.
It's a creative premise. I mean, it's a cool idea, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. And I think, too, it's going to, like, stuff that, like, I don't have as much, like, care for. So it's like... That's whatever. That's more a me thing.
That's just a taste thing. But I like,
Exactly.
I do like some of the choices for shows they went to. Star Trek was too obvious. But,
And you liked it more than I did, but I, like, really didn't like her Kirk, so I was waiting for them to get away from that.
yeah. You're not wrong about it, but I was having fun watching Katie Lots having fun, because I like her, and I feel like she's
Well, that's fair.
very
Like,
often kind of sleepwalking through the show, and
I've
she
seen
looks
her in the good
frustrated
stuff.
much of the time to me.
Yeah. No, that's fair. You know her more from, like, the good stuff she's in. And she's, like, one of your favorite characters from, like,
Yeah.
Arrow. I just know her from these last two episodes in Crisis.
And, like, I like her as a person. I want her to get work that she's enjoying doing, like...
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fair.
Just looking at her social media and stuff, she's always seemed like a real cool, chill person, and she was real nice to me the one time I met her. Like, I like her.
Well, and I don't have anything against most of these actors.
There's the couple, and he's not going to say who, that he wouldn't mind seeing,
But you know who you
walk
are.
in front of a train, but everybody else...
Oh, it gets very serious.
I wish the totalitarian overlords had more of a sinister presence throughout this. I kind of like that we're not seeing them, and that they were just sort of like scary voices at the beginning. Well, I guess we did see the lady on the screen that was kind of horrifying, but like I wish that their presence was felt more, and that there was there should be more of an ominousness to this episode, I think, is what I'm missing.
Well, I agree with you in that I wish we were seeing some, like, more of that, to be honest. As opposed to, like, the TV stuff, because I don't care as much about, like, the legends trying to figure out. Like, I'm more interested in that as, like, a sci-fi premise, like what you were saying.
Yeah, but I wasn't expecting that creative of a concept behind that. So I'm more impressed with this episode that it's not just this idea with nothing cool behind it, because that's legitimately a neat way to take that.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that more than something like who's the obnoxious X-Men villain who does that, who like naps people up and puts them in TV shows? Mojo. This is kind of the Mojo thing with like 1984 villains. John Kelling. So that's it? We're just some kind of Legends of Tomorrow?
Y'all must be jokers.
Wow, I'm actually surprised there's still 10 minutes left in this episode. This one has felt long to me.
Yeah. Both episodes feel very long.
And we're still going to do one more. Are you going to jump ship before we do the last one?
Yeah, I'm just going to, if you take a break, I'm going to just not come back.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't know if I can get 45 minutes over a bowling episode by myself.
Well, oh, is she going to get a strike? She did not.
Madman, wait, did he just call her Astra? Wasn't that the little girl he couldn't save in Constantine's show? That's right! It is! Is that supposed to be the same character? Oh, now she's back in her Kirk outfit.
Did they undo some, like, tragic thing that he had?
Well, and I mean, I'm sure that his show is not actually canonical and that they just, used pieces of it.
Oh, is it, like, real confused?
Yeah. It's like they took...
you and Marvel Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. They took that character, played by the same actor, and threw him in an episode of Arrow, and it kind of played it like it didn't matter if you saw that show or not. And I wouldn't know if they would have even had the rights to use that stuff straight up. Oh no. Are we just doing Khan?
Yeah, it's Heatwave. He's Khan.
Of course he is. And he's got the chest, because of course they have to do the chest. And he said Wrath.
Remember this?
Remember Khan?
She's gonna yell Khan, right?
Well, we've already done that in a Star Trek movie. We've already done Remember Khan in Darkness. And that makes it okay for me to break the law. But yeah, he's got the same motivation. Like, we're just doing Wrath of Khan. And that's weird, of course, because Wrath of Khan was a relatively big budget movie and was past the TV show, and Khan had an entirely different plot in his first appearance, but whatever.
Oh, that would have been awesome if he showed up and he was Khan from that first episode instead.
Oh, man. John Kelling says, no, they literally pulled her from hell. She's like a demon. The Astro Girl from his TV show. And then Red Kalel...
Oh my god, it's Watchmen!
I didn't even think of that. Yes, she is. They got her out of hell, and now she's on the team now. God. And that's such a... Of course that's what they did. Of course that's what they did.
So they did bring her back? That sucks. Maybe she'll die again.
Okay, so wait, are these... What Rory just said would lead me to believe that these aren't just TV shows made up for this world they're in, but that these are the shows in their real world? Because he said he loves Star Trek, so Star Trek is a real show? Okay.
Don't think about it. Dagon Spirit, you mentioned that Romeo and Juliet.
We talked about that earlier.
That was one of the ones we almost did.
We almost did that.
Almost got him.
It's probably for the best.
I don't know. I'm curious. That episode title is so bad.
Yeah, but your response to these makes me never want to do a round 2 of this.
You and me both, kid.
I feel like I've been having to drag you along by a rope.
It's more like a new. This is very dramatic, Cap. Are you sad?
No, because I mean they're playing it tongue in cheek. Like it's not actually. See, in a lot of ways, this is more of what I want from this show. Like, I don't think this one is taking itself too horribly seriously.
No, it's not as much. No.
And the scenes that are serious do feel a little bit more tongue in cheek. But again, a lot of that is because they're doing this, goofy TV show premise thing.
Yeah, more so just playing around with like. It's more just like a spoof episode.
But yeah, it just seems like you'd be taking a lot of his pathos away by making Astra a regular character. I don't think his TV show would have ever done that were it on 7 seasons.
That's because it wasn't a CW show.
Yep. But, like, if they got him out of hell, or if they got her out of hell, I would think that it would be in some sort of, like, really twisted, tragic sort of way. But nope, just put her in the show. Oh, look, there's the studio audience. Like, I feel like you could have written this in such a way that, you could have a story that felt like it took 45 minutes to tell, but this has felt stretched pretty thin to me.
Ew.
Constantine high-fives people now.
That's so badass, bro.
Okay, so a new rule. Austin doesn't say bro anymore.
That's okay, I'll just say bruv instead. This feels like dollar store Black Mirror.
I couldn't have said it better. I've been trying to articulate something like that this whole time. But, it's still more watchable than a lot of other shows, the episodes of the show I've seen. Like, I want to give credit where it's due. Like, there's some effort in creativity in the premise here and in some of the execution. Say it again?
So you know this show better than I do.
Yeah, I've seen some of it in the past. And because I've not seen enough of the stuff right before this, I'm lost here. I don't know what's going on. John says this isn't Vixen, this is a shapeshifter. Good to know.
I know that now.
No, you don't want to accept the fates. They can just cut wires at any time and kill you. Sorry, what?
Now I just want to watch Disney's Hercules.
I want to watch Xena. I was a big fan of that show when I was a kid.
I've never seen any of or Hercules. Oh my god.
This is unfortunate.
No, stop.
You guys are not good at this stuff. Don't write music anymore. Just stop it.
This is less WandaVision and more... Stop.
Um, like I said, that was still better.
That was a better episode, absolutely.
Admittedly, it was more talky, and there's a lot I didn't pick up on because I'm trying to make a show, so we're talking over everything. Um, so I don't know if I would appreciate that more or less if I actually, sat down and like really watched it.
Mhm.
So the last one we're doing tonight is last season, season 6, episode 11. It's the final frame, which is the aforementioned bowling episode, and I just had to know.
It's the final frame.
Okay, I went ahead and skipped past the CW logo so that I'm synced up with Austin. So anybody watching this on Netflix, do the same thing. Just play through the 4-second CW logo and get it to the black screen right before that. So I'm at, instead of timestamp 0, it's actually hard to say on Netflix, but I'm more at timestamp 0405. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Austin, please return, won't you? Don't leave.
No.
Oh.
I'll maybe be back. Just kidding. I ain't coming back, Chief.
That's great. All right, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes, guys.
Oh, dang.
And we're back. Okay, we're gonna watch. So Austin is doing exactly what I thought he would. He's just leaving. He's gonna leave his stream on, apparently.
I didn't come back.
But he's just pretending like he has technical difficulties. How did you do that? Did you actually get up out of your chair, or did you just sit in a place where you're invisible with your background?
No, that's what I do. I move like a cat, where I'm like, I jump around.
Well, because it seems like sometimes there's a place where you can sit with your with your camera with that background where you'll just completely disappear.
No, I just put my hand over the. Oh.
Yeah, see, it's like magic.
AMC says that my cringe is real. That is correct. I am very cringy.
Do you mean that everybody is feeling cringy about Austin, or that Austin is feeling cringy about this show, and that's very real?
I just assumed that he meant that I was cringy, but I could be wrong.
Austin's like, agreed.
Agreed.
All right, man. We're gonna do one more of these, and then
That'll
we'll never see Austin again.
Are you cringier than the DayGhost?
I don't know how you gauge that. You have to get a panel of judges.
Exactly. There's like a cringe-o-meter.
That's pretty great. It just goes from like on one side it's just like, I don't know, popping bubbles with gum, and then on the other side it's like wearing a rubber duck on your head, like.
Oh my god.
This is all very cringy.
It's the Batman Returns duck.
I want one of those. I want a street-worthy Batman Returns duck.
If Penguin doesn't show up in a giant duck in the Batman, I will like throw a fit in the theater.
Will you? You really need that with the tone they're going for?
Tom says Austin is not be moved.
That's a lovely sentence. Austin, not even Sony can force Austin to be moved.
AMC says no, he means me cringing at the show. Don't walk it back. It's fine.
No, own it. Own it. You can't hurt Austin's feelings. Trust me, I've tried.
Exactly. If you say something bad about me, I'll double down, sir.
Okay, we're going to watch Season 6, Episode 11, The Final Frame. And this will be the final episode we do tonight. We're at timestamp 0. Make sure that you are as well. Actually, once again, make sure that you get past the CW logo at the beginning if you're watching it on Netflix, so that we're all aligned with Austin. It's very important that we're all aligned with Austin.
Paused, but that's okay.
Well, we'll be more specifically lined up, because even last episode, it seemed
Cap,
like one of us was like a second or two ahead. What's that?
Are your seconds?
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, yes, I'm ready.
All right, everybody press play when I say now. I'm just about to do that.
After dark thing, but
And that's okay. You know what? As self-indulgent as this show often is, I think it's all right for us to occasionally broach that ourselves.
If you want to understand my jokes, pay us.
Everybody, please press play right now. Meanwhile, in Kansas City, Kansas, that's where I live.
Meanwhile, in 2021.
I'm excited to see if this looks anything like Kansas City, Kansas. Because they're probably just in Vancouver. But I'm used to Vancouver doubling as Kansas.
Well, they're currently in a land of tire rims.
We have those. It's amazing.
Like.
They nailed it.
It's picture perfect.
But can you believe of all the episodes I could have picked, I went to the one set in Kansas City. Or at least where they start in Kansas City. Although if they spend the whole time in a bowling alley in Kansas City, I will legitimately be kind of excited about that. I don't even
Worst
care
part
if
about
I
this
get it
episode,
right.
though, is that this will not be the final frame of the show. It will keep going.
It will keep going.
So did you ever think
It's
you
true,
would
we're
get
not going to see the final frame. There won't be a final frame of the episode.
Mhm. Did you ever think you'd get to see Matt Ryan Constantine blow up brownies?
Blow up cannabis brownies, no less?
Oh, I missed that.
That's what it is. I don't need
What
this
is this,
scene.
a Cheech and Chong show?
Tom, the final frame is the final episode for the night. Yep.
That is correct. You are correct about two things. This is the final episode, and I is not be moved.
You is not be moved.
That's gonna be my new catchphrase. I'm just gonna go around saying that.
I'm really surprised that I can't remember his name. I'm really surprised that this guy is still in the show. This far in.
Yeah, I don't know who. I don't even know what hero this character is supposed to be.
I remember. I used to know that. I remember when he was added, and I just didn't care. Okay.
What? That's unfortunate.
That's my response for most of the show. Is just okay.
Are we in a Subaru commercial? What the hell is happening?
This guy's taking a bath outside.
Okay.
Okay, bye. When do we get to bowling? They really nailed Kansas City. I just can't even believe how close it is.
That's your backyard. You look outside your house, you see this.
Maybe I'm alone on this. Do you ever have that with anything where it's like legitimately exciting when something is set in your hometown?
Not really, because it'll never happen.
No. So it just doesn't even happen?
No, my sister really liked this TV movie that was, they filmed part of it in this, like, provincial park just down the road that I, like, really loved as a kid, and, like, it was like, that was cool. But for the most part, I don't really see that.
Okay,
And
so this is after they've gotten engaged.
It's always doubling, so...
And this clone lady is co-captain. Oh, wait, this guy's just on the ship?
Kramer came back?
Yeah, I thought he was just in the TV show. Was he in the show? And I don't know who this guy is.
He's Geeky Kramer mixed with Carlos from YTV, which nobody will get because it's like a Canada
I don't know what that
thing.
means.
But
Tom says he's the grandson of one of the Justice Society, but I don't know who he's talking. Oh, he's talking about Citizen Steel, the guy we were talking about a minute ago. That's who that is. And yeah, I had never heard of that character before this show.
that's like an unfortunate thing, I think, just watching this for me. Like, 3 episodes I've seen now is I can't tell you who any of these like hero characters are, or even what their powers or costumes are. Because for the most part, they're not wearing them.
Yeah, but to be fair, we're also
Although
skipping around, and it's
Well,
modern
that's
TV,
what I mean,
so it
yeah.
kind of expects you to see every episode. Even though a lot of these
It is
premises
kind of
are
unfortunate.
singular things that you should sort of be able to just turn on. Because we're still in that awkward place where it doesn't know if it wants to be binge-worthy or not.
Whoa.
Oh man, it's Men in Black.
It makes more sense for last episode, but it was very unfortunate for the first one.
Yeah. Well, this is fun. It's the bowling alley at the end of the universe.
It's like we're in Zathura.
They set in Kansas City just so she could have that line.
Yep. Oh my god. Oh, he was in the con outfit.
This intro had her in the Star Trek outfit, too. That must be a big fan favorite episode or something.
I guess
That intro's
so.
fun. I like that they do different intros. That's fun.
I miss when shows had full intros, and now we just get the logo. So
Yep.
I like that you get something.
Yeah, they're doing anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like all the effort went into the logo, but
Sometimes it feels like you can't get rid of a logo.
Oh, that nerdy, obnoxious guy is Constantine's apprentice? These are all the sort of things I should have expected the CW to do with Constantine. I'm so glad Eric has never watched one frame of the show. Sorry, what?
Somebody said earlier that girl that they brought back, she's like Constantine's replacement as the magic character on the show for a bit.
Okay. Well, no, maybe not for a bit. Maybe for the rest of the run, because Constantine's out now.
Well, he was in the thumbnail, I think, for this episode.
No. I mean, after this season, he's out. They just wrote him out. So the deal is, like so often with DC's embargoes, they're going to do another Constantine show for HBO Max. So they're not allowing him to stay on the show anymore, but they're keeping Matt Ryan around and casting him as some other character. Because they love doing that. I mean, that was the Wells thing over and over and over again. Oh, it's not Wells, it's in some other Wells from another universe. So I'm sure I'll be really surprised if it's not a character from another universe that's not John Constantine, but is, a Matt Ryan who's just some other character, but from another universe, because we've done that a lot with these.
I wonder if the animated movies can still use him, because they were using him quite a bit, too.
Yeah, that's true. But they've had that relaunch recently, and they haven't done any Constantine stuff or announced any Constantine stuff since that happened. But that's only been, a year and a half now, I guess. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I haven't watched any of that stuff. See, this makes me want to look into that show. I think I might check that out now.
Wait, what show? Oh, the Constantine? Yeah. Well, no, when you said you haven't checked any of that out, no, you have, because you've watched 2 or 3 animated movies since they relaunched those.
Oh, for the animated... Yeah, I've never seen any of the ones with him in it. But,
right. But I was just talking about the new stuff, like Man of Steel and all, or not Man of Steel, Man of Tomorrow.
No, I was jumping around in my thoughts.
I'm sorry.
That's on me.
So we're just going to do a bunch of Big Lebowski stuff in the show, right? And I've never seen that movie, so that will all go over my head.
I wasn't really paying attention there, because we're talking about all that, but I guess that's what they're doing.
Madman just referenced that as well.
Oh. That's just like his opinion, man.
Ren Davis, they rarely use their powers on the show. Yeah, it's got this confused thing where it seems like sometimes it wants to be sitcom-y. And sometimes it wants to be just talky primetime drama. And sometimes it wants to be a superhero show. But in its defense, they've got to be given this $10 to work with now. Mm-hmm. And you could tell from that CG demon that we had at the end of the Barack Obama episode.
And we got Gorilla Grodd fighting an old woman. Oh no, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
I
shouldn't have picked this, right?
I need an adult. Oh, I don't like that I can hear it in my ear because I have headphones in. That's really weird. I assumed we were going to cut in and they were going to be doing something else. So it was going to be like one of those jokes. But then we never did that, so
no,
I guess...
they really are just having sex in the tent next door.
Oh, you said it. You said the thing.
That's
like I said earlier, I'm 9. I don't know what
that is. A word you can say on TV, buddy. Not that we're on TV, but just that tends to sort of be my rule, I guess. Like, you can say that.
You can not only say it, you can have it.
I mean, what we can say on the channel. You can't have sex on my channel.
That's what you think, sir.
Oh, thank you so much, AMC. He says, Cap, to answer your question again from earlier, Sarah was killed off between 5 and 6, so she was only really the clone for most of 6. So we really did kill this character twice.
That's so weird.
And she shouldn't have still been herself at all after she came back with the Lazarus Pit thing, because there were supposed to be consequences to that, and then there really weren't. And you can say, well, she's not herself, she's a totally different character. But I mean, it clearly was supposed to be more tragic, and she was supposed to be more messed up than she was. We fixed that real quick, and with Constantine, no less. That's how we introduced Constantine. Was he brought Sarah back to life and fixed her?
I actually disagree, Cap. There were consequences. They made her the lead of this show.
There were consequences for Katie Lotz, no doubt. But yeah, some of the initial quirky sci-fi ideas we're doing with the show are just what I want the show to do. And then we just keep cutting away from them and doing boring things. Let's have a bowling alley in the middle of the universe where you're trapped there forever. Sure.
You know what's cooler than that?
That sounds great.
Sex in the woods.
This is the problem sometimes with a cast this big. Here's an idea. Write these bozos out for the episode, go back to the bowling alley and do some cool stuff with the 5 people you took there. I'm spinning now.
And now we're in a Subaru commercial again.
This episode has given us an entire 5 years worth of Subaru commercials.
This episode is brought to you by Subaru.
It's like how Heroes was hawking the Nissan Versa so hard in the first season. It's like every time somebody needed to rent a car, it was a Nissan Versa. And it was even like in the comic book that looked horrible.
Oh my god.
That is rough, man. That is some MST3K kind of graphics.
Everything about that was rough. You had that like awful image, and then Constantine walking in and be like, "Ding dong, swagger around."
Matt Ryan knows what show he's in.
Like, no, he's really having some fun.
He's not even trying to be the same character he was before. He's a cartoon version of this character now, and fine with it.
Yeah, he's like, I get to do this, and I get to do a more adult one in a cartoon world.
That's a good point! Well, and you can't expect him to give the performance he gave before having to act against that guy as his apprentice, who's just like, ah! Now we're going to see Sarah Lance bowl for the first time. She's going to go in the wrong lane, right? No, she didn't. She's going to get a strike. We're going to do that one. It was going to be one or the other. She was either going to throw it into the other lane or get a strike.
The music in the background sounded, like when she did it, sounded like it was like a knockoff version of the like, dun, dun, dun.
Oh, God. What's he going to do?
He's going to throw it. There you go. You got both of them. He threw it into the wrong lane.
I nailed it.
I never take my gloves off. That's why they call me Heat Wave.
What a mick.
I can't believe you just said that.
It's that kind of night, buddy.
Oh my god, we're salsa dancing now.
Yeah, you're always more likely to get a strike if you drop to the floor.
That's what I do. I drop and I do a little prayer before I throw the ball.
This is how little money they have for this show. They're like, well, I mean, I guess we could just go rent the bowling alley for 3 days and shoot.
Yeah, this could be filmed at the bowling alley down the road from me. Maybe this is, you got Kansas and you got me.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I forget. What is the name of the province that you live in?
It's Ontario.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I just wasn't sure. I couldn't remember. This is really awkward.
I don't like it.
This guy
I don't
has
like
the largest mouth in the history of large mouths.
I don't like that Carlos from YTV is Constantine's apprentice.
I don't know what exactly you would have done, but it would have been really cool if somehow they could have gotten a fun, like, well-written, jokey episode, 45 minutes, where the entire thing is a one-room comedy drama set in a bowling alley. But instead, we are jumping to all these other random subplots.
Yeah.
And I can't expect that from the show. Like, that probably sounds like really unfair and contradictory to the things I said earlier, because we stretched that last premise out so hard. But again, if we were, and I liked some things about that last episode, but if we were a little bit more creative, it wouldn't have had to feel so stretched thin. I feel like you could have put plenty of interesting material in with that premise. But all things being equal, I would have loved for, you know, a decent script to attempt to set an entire episode in a bowling alley.
I kind of like Matt Ryan in this. I want to see just him in the bowling alley and nothing else. No, not even another character.
Yeah, why can't he be here?
Yeah. I don't want to see these stupid people. Don't show them to me again.
Yeah, these aren't the people you want, except for Sarah. I mean, I do want Sarah here.
No, I mean these, like, people they're fighting.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Bravo over here.
Well, again, because he looks like the guy from Big Lebowski. I do it for the trophies. That sounds real.
Wait, what's happening really to these heartbroken.
Balls? Oh, now I see what's going on.
Oh, he snapped them through bowling balls. He's got the infinity balls.
Okay,
that was an unfortunate statement. The second I said it, it was like...
Can we roll time backwards and pretend you didn't say it? Okay, so after what you just witnessed, the women being, you know, sucked up and turned into bowling balls, are you going to say it or shall I say it? It's a Goosebumps episode.
Just give me the gnomes. I want them back.
Or the second part of the bizarre Jack-o'-lantern episode, because that got great.
No, I want to see Gorilla Grodd fight an army of little gnomes.
That and would make America
like,
Grodd again.
Rods and they're tasing them.
John says he went from Time Bureau agent to Constantine's apprentice to an alien, I think. Of course,
it's like a Riverdale character.
I still haven't been masochistic enough to watch any of that show.
That show's nuts. I think in the last season they introduced aliens, mole people, and I think there's something else they introduced like that, but I can't remember.
Has that been on 5 years yet?
Yeah, I think it's on season 6 now.
Oh my god.
They're bringing in Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, because that Sabrina show was supposed to be a spin-off, but it got like separated. But now they're bringing that actress over, like Constantine in this.
Which is interesting because I was talking about CW shows apart from the Arrowverse last week on the Captain Logan show, and I made the mistake of throwing Sabrina in there, and I had several corrections where people were like, that's a Netflix show, and I'd forgotten about that, so that is on me. But it's interesting that now those are going to be in the same continuity with a CW show.
No, I was laughing when I watched that video when you said that because A, yeah, it's a Netflix thing, and B, I've heard that show's actually pretty good. And you were like, that crappy Sabrina show.
I've heard really mixed things.
I only know one
Some
person,
people hate that
and
show.
He loves it, and I probably shouldn't trust him, to be fair.
That didn't make any sense at all.
Are you questioning things, Cav?
I am.
keep telling you need to stop that.
How does this work? How does Rory lob it that hard? And then it's just like rolling really slow, like...
Because they
What?
get a shot of him throwing it and then a shot of it rolling. It's not
right.
really throwing it, Cap. It is a film. Oh my god. Can we stop cutting back to this wedding dress thing?
Please, for the love of God.
No, don't do a music montage.
I don't care about this wedding thing.
Especially
in CW shows. Because it's not going to work out. She's going to die. It's going to turn out that because she's a clone, she has 8 more weeks to live, or she's going to get sucked into a vortex. Sarah's going to die another time and be gone for 3 seasons. Like,
well, no, she'll die, but then it'll turn out that they were always married, and then it'll turn out that she's actually an alien, and then it'll turn out that, oh my god, no, stop.
wait, Red Khalil says, yep, that's all correct, and now dating Gideon. I thought Gideon was the ship. Is that, or maybe, no. That...
It's a Futurama
It's been
situation.
too long, I can't remember.
Sigourney Weaver plays the ship.
What's with the wavy line tattoo?
I don't know, I was gonna ask you that if that was the thing.
It might be, and I don't remember, but... Well, somebody else in the comments really likes that Sabrina show, so...
Oh my god,
I'm curious about
okay,
it.
now I need to see Constantine versus Predator.
These are some of the worst TV tattoos I've ever seen. They don't even look like temporary tattoos, they look like he took a marker to himself.
He just snorted the flame from a candle. His show.
Okay, to be fair, this kind of stuff he did on his show all the time.
I know, I would rather
Oh
watch
my god, stop showing that shot!
He released the
With
cosmic rays from the Tim Story Fantastic Four movie.
Gideon is human now, thanks to Astra's magic. Of course they did that. Of course they made the ship sentient and a human being, and is dating a guy. Okay. If somebody would punch her in the face real hard, we might not have to see any more of the subplot.
Cap supports abusing women.
I support getting away from the subplot.
Somebody should just punch that woman in the head. Just deck her out.
Look, she's a fictional character that I'm not invested in. I'm not supporting punching women. I'm supporting punching this fictional character. So I don't have to watch the subplot anymore. What's wrong with that? This is great! This is great!
First Cap was like, oh, I can't tell the difference between Wally West and Obama, and now he's like, oh, he just punched women.
So wait, is she like... Has something happened with her where she's out of character, or is this the way this character acts? Because I realize that Sarah Lance is not the wonderful character I used to know her as, but even in this version, I don't see getting with this chick.
That was a choice. If you tell me about this wedding dress.
They all know they're in a cartoon show.
What is that sweet man talking about?
What?
That's what she just said. She was like, "What is that sweet man talking about?"
That sweet man? That sweet man? That extra over there that we gave 2 lines of dialogue.
He's a sweet man, that guy.
Sometimes when you have, cameos or extras like that, I want to see the behind the scenes where the character with one line goes, "Line!"
The ball that pierced the pins came from his gilder.
Yeah, I don't like the clone girl so far. that Sarah's marrying. I don't see the chemistry. I just don't see it.
In that first episode, she was holding a gun in the background, and I assumed she was an extra. And then all of a sudden, she started having scenes. It was very weird.
Dagan Spear, Not So Cat, Barry, and Iris had a wedding in season 4 of The Flash, and they're still together. Yeah, that's fair, but that's the token one, right? Like, has anybody else lasted? Has anybody else stuck together? And isn't that... I mean, I will give them that they didn't keep the off-again, on-again thing going on forever like we got with Clark and Lana in Smallville. And, of course, those were characters that were destined to not be together. But, like, Barry and Iris, that's the classic comic book relationship. They're supposed to be together. So, yeah, it is nice that they at least allowed, like, one couple to stay together, but it'd be nice if there was one or two other ones, I guess. John, Felicity and Oliver got married on the same day, and now they're dead. Yep.
Well, I'm glad they're dead.
I'm glad. Like Jack Nicholson, I'm glad they're dead.
Where is everything? I don't know.
Wow, this is some season 6 Lost graphics right here.
I like how the black hole...
Oh, they're inside a bowling ball. That's fun.
Yeah, that's why when the ball was rolling, it was shaking.
Oh. No, this is the kind of camp I can get behind. If only we wouldn't keep jumping back to these subplots I don't care about.
Yeah, that's the only thing that should have been rocking in the earth, not passionate lovemaking.
Tom, another super chat. Thanks, buddy. He turns whole planets into bowling balls. Weird.
Wired.
He actually wrote wired, but I think he meant weird.
No, I think he meant like that's really wired into the mythos.
Oh, okay. It's very Men in Black. That's that kind of quirky. Diggle and Lila, that's true. But that was a real back and forth thing for a long time. Oliver and Felicity stayed together. Eventually, but I hated them. And again, Oliver is dead. Felicity Smoke was a mistake. I wish the Legends would correct the timeline to make her not exist. Me too.
I like how they killed off Black Canary so that he could get with Felicity. and then
she gets her own TV show.
Oh my god, I do not like the sound.
Oh, you're talking about her sister. Yeah, we did. Yeah. We killed her too. She at least we kept dead. Of course, we had to bring in an alternate her for another universe because we always do that so that we can keep these actors around. But
eternity.
Dagan Spear, fair enough. Felicity and Oliver had a wedding. Then Oliver went to prison for months. And then he had to leave Felicity and his daughter because of Crisis, and then he died. Yep. That is a really good summation of like 3 seasons.
Wasn't there like a whole thing too where Felicity was like lying to Oliver and like helping like all the other heroes, and then it turns out that he has a son, and he's like, oh, I have a son, and then she's mad at him for it.
Yes, and that. Her motivation like for being angry with him was so horribly contrived. Where she's simultaneously like, I totally understand why you lied to me, but we can't be together anymore just on principle. And I'm angry because it's a TV show and drama, so I have to be. Even though I just told you that I'm understanding.
That was brilliant.
Bowling's stupid! There's another way to look at this, Austin. The joke's on the CW and these producers because these actors are all getting paid to make this nonsense.
Joke's on you, the only people getting a profit are the actors.
Yeah, we know that for sure now. What was that angle? Why did we shoot underneath him as he came into the tent?
Because there's gonna be passionate lovemaking on the other side. Again.
So wait, there's this whole thing where they can't be together too much or the timeline collapses? I wonder what that's about. I don't wonder enough that I want to watch it. I mean, I said earlier I might be curious enough to go back and look at a lot more of the show. Or to like, go back and finally watch all of this. But over, like, 3 or 4 years, I think. Like,
but by that point, there'll be 3 or 4 more seasons.
Somebody buy the CW. Somebody please buy the CW. It's up for sale, everybody. Somebody buy it.
What if they buy it, though, and Warner Brothers, like, okay, we're taking everything back, but we'll license out Legends of Tomorrow so that can continue.
But then they have that title, but they can only use, like, made-up superheroes.
Yeah, well, they can't use any of the DC characters, but they bring back the cast, but they all play new characters.
They all play different people? So, and Katie Lotz Dara Fence.
Oh my god, it's a Nerf gun. They just painted it.
That thing is amazing. Can we just stay with the camp and quit going to the camp?
Can we just go back to
Matt what I
Ryan?
mean?
I want to see him snort more fire.
I want to see him just engulf himself in more crappy CGI fire. John Arrow. I have a son. That makes it okay for me to be a murderous vigilante. I'm not a bad show. I've just had bad writers.
I have a son. That means it's okay for me to lie to my wife.
In that particular instance, it kind of did, though, because it was a whole... I can't remember the exact situation now, but it was like, if anybody knows, I think the kid was in danger, like, directly or something. I mean, it was really a situation where, no Felicity, if he told you he was, like, massively risking the death of the kid, or the death of somebody, I can't totally remember now, but he was in the right in that situation from what I remember. And the writers clearly knew it, because they were so conflicted in the way she left him. John, it's fine. They barely use DC characters in the show as it is anyway.
This is a great speech. I like it. It reminds me of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Are we losers or are we legends? The answer is yes.
It's like Guardians.
It is.
That is bad.
But here they just basically came out and said, yes, they are absolutely losers.
They're such losers, they had to turn the scoreboard off. Like they're kids' sports in Canada.
Meanwhile, Guardians years before this was like, we know that it's going to look really typical to have the "we're all just losers" speech. So he starts to say that, and he goes, like, we've all lost stuff. Like, it's really clever about it.
And plus there was a raccoon.
That makes everything better. I have a raccoon. That makes it okay for me to break the law.
I had a raccoon, but it scratched me in my eye.
You're not supposed to keep those in your house, Austin. No, don't spin your arm around. That doesn't work.
Well, I trapped it. Oh my god. I trapped a raccoon with a net and gave it a gun, but it just shot me.
I still can't believe Astra's a character in this. God, I don't like that. Bowling is stupid.
Family is for weaklings.
Tom, a couple minutes ago, wrote roll credits. I don't know if he's bored or...
They probably said final frame.
Oh.
Yeah,
Pin
like they said
killers.
the title.
So what are the stakes here? We've been talking over this. Do they have to win the game to get everybody
else,
back, or?
well, the Earth will be like owned. It's a bowling ball.
Oh, okay, that's fun. I like that stuff. Steer into that. Get away from these people I don't care about.
He delivered that like me when I want to sound unenthusiastic. There's a little dial on here, and this guy goes up to 3. You just move that.
I mean, at least they're not off doing something totally unrelated to the plot. Like, at least it all converges, or at least that stuff converges. Dagon Spear, I don't think he was in active danger. It's just been so long I couldn't remember. But I think the mom of the son didn't want anyone to know and made Oliver promise not to tell anyone. I thought there was something a little bit more at stake than just that now. Than just that, but it's been too long.
They're still going back. Oh, I guess the other people having sex are dead, though. That's also like Watchmen.
Well, that's okay. They were mostly just off camera making noises anyway.
Yeah, it was like, ow!
But I mean, even in that situation, AMC, Felicity should have been more mad at the mom than at Oliver.
Felicity should just die.
The ultimatum. It's like, you can either not tell anyone about your son or never see your son.
It's so weird to me.
She's really the one in the wrong there, right? Like,
yeah, it's so weird to me that the like comedy relief became the love interest of that show.
Yeah.
And that she became Oracle.
Yeah, she was. Well, it was. I've said this before, but it was like if Bruce Wayne married Lucius Fox.
I would have loved that if he married Morgan Freeman. Rachel's dead, Lucius. I need somebody else to settle down with.
Well, yes, and then you go back, and every time he screams Rachel, you just replace it with like, Lucius!
Lucius! And then Lucius starts dating Harvey Dent. I want that.
Whoa. Whoa.
Stop. Whoa.
Bowling ball cam.
Oh, stop.
Bowling ball cam.
Why are we having the bowling ball's POV?
This is so absurd. It's wonderful. If you take just all the bowling ball sections,
oh my god,
and
they're
put them all together,
this
would be more watchable. It would be 7 minutes, but
replace bowling ball with Matt Ryan, and I agree.
But are the characters in the bowling alley aware of what's at stake? Like, do they know about the world and the bowling ball thing?
Yeah,
they're not acting like they do. They're acting like they just want a regular bowling game.
Yes, because lead woman turned the score off, and the other person was like, "We need to see the score. The Earth is at stake."
They didn't seem all that concerned that they might lose.
And she was like, "We're not fighting them. We're fighting ourselves right now. Guys, we're legends."
It's a really good impression. Well done. Wait, so now she's got to bowl it out into space?
Oh my god, no.
Wow. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that this just looks like the intro for Third Rock from the Sun. And Funk Show, brother, check it out. I'm sorry, what?
The Superman titles to go by.
Oh god, I forgot about Vandal Savage. I don't want to think about that ever again, John.
Is Vandal Savage voiced by a black guy but a white actor? Is the body?
No, he just drove me nuts. Just the way he talked. Like, God, if I never
here
hear
we go.
Chiara ever again, it'll be too soon.
Give me Constantine bowling against Gorilla Grodd right now, show.
Just set it on fire with your mind. Line! Again, I just gotta put everything into perspective. We paid him to say that!
Whoa. That was weird.
Don't stop it! Why are we doing that? It's great bowling when worlds aren't about to be destroyed based on the game.
I got my Polaroid.
Yeah, why did he have a Polaroid? Okay. So
That's the ending of a sitcom.
So that happened. The show wants to be a sitcom sometimes, it seems like.
It should have had just Legends of Tomorrow written underneath.
Okay, well, we got through 3 episodes of Legends of Tomorrow. What's your final verdict on that? Did you enjoy this experience? Are you glad we did it?
I lost part of my soul, so I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Austin. I'm gonna get a message from him later. Never do that again.
That is correct.
He's gonna go. Just for that, we're watching 6 Batwomans next time.
That sounds awesome. I like the sound of that. 6 Batwomen in a Riverdale.
We're not gonna
That's
do
the
that.
name of my new show.
And on the 7th day, we Riverdaled. Well, everybody, thanks a lot for joining us for another mini blind marathon. We had as much fun with this as we could. Some of this I enjoyed more than other things. The big thing for me is all 3 of these premises, in one way or another, I felt like there was, even the Obama thing, as ridiculous as that is, had more potential than we saw on screen, and I don't feel like we lean into what was cool about those ideas enough.
No, this peaked with Gorilla Grodd in a jar.
I think it peaked with the teaser for the 2nd episode with the 1984 stuff, which I thought was legitimately a great opening.
That was also good.
We didn't
but
do
it
enough
was
with it, but
like
I
a
loved
little
that.
gorilla.
That's fair. Well, some of that's just sensibilities. Certainly. And
Black.
the whole Men in Black bowling alley in space thing is wonderful. I
Just shaking the jar.
What was with the POV bowling ball cam? That was insane.
That was so weird.
Well, anyway, once again, thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Next week, we're going to be doing something entirely different, and I've been promoting this quite a bit, so you guys probably know about this already, but Austin and I are going to be shooting a pilot live for a game show called Are You Geekier Than the Day Ghost? A show where each time we do it, if we do any past this experiment, the Day Ghost will be one of the contestants every time, and the contestants will have it, and you could be a contestant potentially too. Each contestant will have a chance at beating the Day Ghost for prizes. So I don't mean with like a mallet or a crowbar, but just in trivia.
Everyone here is a sucker, especially you.
Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you again real soon. I am going to be doing finally a Matrix Resurrections review late Sunday night live. So if you're interested in that, pop in that evening. And lots more stuff coming your way here on Geekvolution. I was Captain Logan, and this was The Day Ghost.
I'm in a jar. Get me out.
I'm a giant gorilla in a jar.
Sorry, hold on. Jar, let me out. That's my CW.